Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Power Tips. Unfortunately, we are short Kylie. She was here, and then she was like, "I have to go. We have a situation," and so sorry about that. But she was here. She is rather here in spirit as we talk through this. So as we prepared for this episode of Power Tips and looked at Power Automate 2025 Wave 2 features, we were, as we have been time and time again throughout this series this last year, semi-underwhelmed by the number of features that have been coming out for some of the core applications. But we totally understand that that's because there's a ton of effort going into the Copilot realm. So we get it, but it is a little underwhelming. And so as we looked through what features were there was one that jumped out at all of us, and we thought, maybe we should just really dive into that one. And then Heidi graciously agreed to I'll talk about it and we'll demo it live on Power Tips. So we're going to do that. So Heidi, over to you.
Yeah, live demos always go well. All right, so what is that feature? It is quantify savings and cloud flows. Have you ever needed to justify the work that you do in terms of how much time or money your work saves? We all do, right? That's how you get wins. If you aren't doing that, you should, and here's the easy button to do it. So this is a really neat feature. It turns on these new different areas inside of Power Automate. They're called savings. So we've got the saving rule, which is either time saving or money saving. And money saving has two different paths. It could be hourly rate or just a user defined amount. And then the actual savings. So a couple things you need to know. Number one, this is in preview right now. It's listed for general availability for October, but here we are mid-November and it's not there yet. We'll see. But this will only work in solution-based cloud flows, which I'm sure all of our listeners and watchers are already doing because they follow best practices. But if for whatever reason your cloud flows are not in solutions, you have to put them in a solution first. And then the other cool thing, which I'll show you, is this value hub in the Power Platform Admin Center. Not the app, but the actual center. So I thought it would be cool to demo this. So 1 week ago today, I came into one of my test environment cloud flows. This one, it's a scheduled cloud flow. It's great. And I turned it on and I set it and forgot completely about it. So what I find is interesting is that it didn't work. Maybe that's why it's still in preview. If you want to play in this, I did mention it's in preview only. Just as a recap, because I think we might not have demoed recently, it is make.preview.powerapps.com if you want to see this and work on it. So let's click edit and show you what I did. So I turned on savings, really easy thing to do, right? Toggle it on. Then I can say how many hours, minutes, and or seconds does this action save everybody. So this is a simple one. It's going into my CRM system. It's looking for all the one opportunities and it's going to list them in a post in a Teams channel for my sales thing. Normally I would do that via email. So I said this will save 15 minutes because I don't have to go in, export it, format it, send it to an email, send it out. So that is how it was set up. I expected this to have, 1 week's worth of data, so 7 times 15, but it doesn't. So the other thing I thought I could show you is how to actually turn it on. So I am in some flows that I already have. This one is not turned on yet. So here's our savings box. It's got the little information button, so you can click on that to get the Microsoft Learn article information about it. And it says start tracking savings. Tells you what savings rules does. You can say, no, don't show me this again. This is useless. Or you could say enable savings. This is cool. And then this is exactly what we just looked at on the other flow. So what do you want? Time saving, which it defaults to, or money saving. So you can pick whatever you want. This one's even cooler. This is moving files from a web form to a SharePoint folder. So this one saves a solid hour and like 30 minutes. And then you click save. And then that behind the scenes is just saving the rule and creating all of those things underneath it. And then the next time this flow runs, it's going to start accumulating my savings. Pretty cool, right?
That's so cool.
Where does it go? Well, it goes over here. We are in the Power Platform Automation Center. I said Admin Center. I meant Automation Center. Edit. Automation Center, which is here at make.powerautomate.com on the left-hand side. And then there's this new thing called savings. I don't have any savings yet, but when I do, we'll be able to see all of that here on a great dashboard. Separate dashboard for time and money. So you can quantify, give an ROI on individual flows you have created.
That's so cool.
I think this is cool.
That's so cool. That's super powerful, right? Just to give people the context, and whether you're a maker in an organization who's saying, look what I've done for our company, I've saved us this much time with this much money, or you're an organizational services company who's saying, look, we've got these flows that we can roll out and they're going to save you X, right? On time, I think would probably be the biggest one for that context. So this is super powerful.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think it's neat. Always cool to justify Power Automate and what it does in our organization.
I mean, as long as it actually works. So
exactly. Here's a screenshot of what that should look like, right? So this has saved 25 days of time. That's impressive. Yeah.
Very cool.
That's what I wanted to show. I'm glad you think it's as cool as
I do. That's super powerful. And it's interesting that we don't see that in other areas. I guess Power Automate's a great one to start in, but I wonder if that's going to extend to other things. Like we see that a lot, right? You use an automation, well, I guess that's Power Automate, but if you use the assistant in Dynamics 365, like what is that saving you by reducing the amount of time you have to like manually comb through all your opportunities to put them in a hierarchy and priority sequence and things like that, and it's going to do some of that for you, like that kind of stuff. That would be really cool to contextualize in a here's the value add to this feature. It should be really cool. Love it.
I totally agree. And I think you're right. I think it's going to expand elsewhere. We saw this, the Describe It to Design It, right? Copilot started in Power Automate. So we're the pioneer. That's what this means.
Absolutely.
Go Power Automate.
Absolutely.
So this was Kylie's one. Do you want to take a stab at this one? Or would you like me to?
I am actually looking at it for the first time because I got in real late last night. So create and edit expressions with Copilot. So this, to your point, right? Design it, describe it, design it, kind of the same idea. It's another example of the use some natural language and we'll take care of the rest kind of approach, which we've talked about these before, right? These are super valuable for people who are not super ingrained in the technology and understand the language and the coding and all of that stuff. Maybe not coding, but the expression can be complicated and it's got weird stuff in it. Like, hey, if this letter is capital, it's going to do something different or not capital. So this is going to take care of some of that. I have played around with these a little bit in the past. They are pretty good. I don't know that they're perfect, but they definitely get you down the path. And with a little bit of effort, you can kind of understand what the expression's doing and identify where you maybe want to extend it or change it a little bit. So I really like these ones.
I use this a lot. I don't know how to write expressions in the correct, proper dialect. So I've been using this since it first came out in preview in January. So this one's been out for a long time. Why? Because it sucked in the beginning. Sorry, Microsoft. But you've done much better. It's getting great. But like Malcolm said, with everything that Copilot is generating, you all know this, but it bears repeating. Trust it, but verify it, right? Don't just run with it. Make sure that it's actually doing what you thought that it was.
Test.
Yeah. And finally, where are those features at?
True story, right? There was only 4. There was 4 items in there, and 3 of them had been around for a while, and the other one I don't think was. It was the extension of the process mining feature, which is amazing if you have never seen it. I should have put it in, but that was my plan, and I got in so late, I just haven't had a chance. But if it ties and links to the process mining one, and if you haven't looked at that, you should. But the last time I looked at it, if I'm correct, please don't write this in stone, I believe it was in the neighborhood of $5,000 a month to use it. And I just don't know many organizations other than the behemoth enterprises that are going to have a budget to dive into that kind of like that deep end, right? That's huge. But such cool features and functionality out of it to help organizations get better. The ROI to me is super clear, and it within a month or two you're going to make that money back without question. But that is a steep investment.
It sure is. Awesome. Well, the few but the powerful Power Automate updates will be trickling out over the next couple months. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Power Tips. Join us next week when we're going to dive into another area of the Power Platform. Have a great week, everyone.